Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Play Slay the Spire. The first thing I'm going to say, thanks for the ongoing support on the Slay the Spire series. It means a lot that there's a community that enjoys watching me play, in spite of the fact that we've been on a terrible streak of losing. Maybe like a month without anything approaching a victory. Again, I want to say, 820. This is a laundry list. What is a laundry list anyway? We put clothes in washer. But you don't have a list of clothes. Anyway, I'm changing it. We got a grocery list. Laundry list doesn't make sense in the modern era, in my opinion. We got a grocery list of negative modifiers here. We're working on it, but it's genuinely hard. Yeah, oh, I know there's 2 people in the world that are really good. Okay, good for them. Good for them. I'm a man. I'm 40. That's a quote. I'm not 40. 30.33. Let me look. Interesting choices. I think I'll probably take choose a card. Max HP plus 7 also strikes me as decent, for sure. Give me the drop kick. I've really come around on this lately. The one piece of guaranteed actionable advice that has worked for me in Slay the Spire over and over and over again. You know what it is? Slow down. Make sure you're taking the time, especially as I've been playing a little bit less lately because the backlog has been freaking enormous. Make sure you're taking the time, not just playing on autopilot. You know, examine your options. Like for here, I look at Shrug It Off and Iron Wave. I like them both, but probably start with Shrug It Off first. I will always take the Golden Idol, and I think now I'm happier to maybe get rid of a curse, or sorry, to take a curse in my deck. Give me the upgraded Bash right off the bat, and I think that's going to be very advantageous for us moving onwards here. This is a great example of when you should probably do the math. We can definitely kill you and get an energy in return. We could do 10 damage to you, followed by 7. We would get energy in return. You would not die. So I think we do it like this. Get your free energy. Draw. You take 4 damage. Big whoop. And then you have a terrible turn right after that. But that's okay. As long as we can get past this first elite, you know, it's the benefit of having Burning Blood. I really think it's fine. We'll draw Dropkick next turn. This guy's almost certainly dead. I really think that the Ironclad or the Defect are definitely the character I'm most likely to make it work with first. It seems like a kind of a no-brainer uppercut to me for a little bit of extra damage and a much better situation from an optic standpoint for guaranteeing that we got good access to the vulnerability impact from Dropkick. I'll probably take 3 to make that happen. You're very likely to die on the next turn. Okay. Confidence is starting to come back a little bit. Let me think here. I honestly think I'll go Ghostly. And that, just because we thought doesn't mean we have to change our decision. After we, you know, that's the decision we would make under most circumstances there. And it's the decision I'm going to make there. I think it's the right decision as well. Now, we're going to choose whether or not we use our Dex Potion. I think we will. It saves us 2 HP immediately, at least. And it's going to be 2 at most, because I really feel a compulsion to do as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible. We could weaken you, and add 1 vulnerability, and do a little bit more damage. But I think the saving of the damage is not worth the loss of 2 vulnerability out of this. Because, I mean, now it looks silly because we would have gotten Bash back anyway, very quickly. But there was no way for us to know that in advance, you know? So I think we handled this fight pretty well. He's likely to die next turn. Okay, he's not going to die next turn, but he's going to die the turn after that. We take 7 extra damage. It's not a big deal, but when you recognize you have no control over it, It's a little bit more of an easy thing to wash away. So we can take Evolve. We'll definitely take Blue Candle as well. So now we can play our Curse at the cost of 1 HP. Not really that big of a deal, but, you know, depending on... If we get other Curse enablers, it's actually, like, extremely potentially awesome. So, let me think here. Nothing we draw can kill you in one hit, so I think we want to do it like that. Evolve is more of a situational play. It's something I'm more likely to, you know, get out there against an elite or something like that. And I'm not going to bother playing the Curse. It just seems like 1 HP lost for no reason here. And yet, not that this would have made a difference necessarily, we're going to take quite a hit. Whirlwind, it's... Flame Barrier's so good, but Whirlwind has been so good to us in the past that feels like a really strong choice. This is a weird one for me. I really wish there were more heals. Without there being heals, I think I wanna buy cards. We should probably remove injury, that's fair. And then armaments is fine. What would it target in the deck? Right now, uppercut is a big one. And it is a block. We've added a few attacks. We've added 2 blocks. 2 blocks and 3 attacks. I mean, it's not a terrible setup, but is armaments worth it if we can upgrade it? Obviously. Are we likely to upgrade it this floor? No, but I still think it's probably worth taking. Just using my brain. I'm gonna take a Perfected Strike, but it's a tough call for me. I thought about not taking it. I do think long term it hampers our deck a little. This could be a regrettable decision. I think long term it hampers our deck a little, but I think just have to trying to figure out if I can do this without taking too much damage. I think we do it like this. I think it's valuable enough for us in the short term as something to capitalize on the vulnerability. And I mean, right now it would be awesome to draw it. Cough, cough, just saying, because it would give us the opportunity to kill one of these enemies in a single hit instead of having to go through this song and dance. Really, I think having like one big attack is important so that we can take advantage of the fact that enemies are going to be vulnerable quite often as a result of the upgraded bash and also uppercut. But sure, I probably would have rather had Carnage, and I will put a Carnage in the deck as well. We're kind of we're in a real tough spot now. Real tough. In fact, it will be tough for us to live through the first floor. Always takes a little bit. It will be impossible for us to live through the first floor. 13, 15. We do live. I think we can put up more blocks, but for what? We got to put one of them in killable range via Whirlwind. That's the only way we're ever going to make progress. You do this twice, you still die. That's fine. You still die even if you poison him. It takes the wind out of your sails a little bit, and, you know, it definitely is a hit to your confidence, but you come back, you try again. Is there something we could have done? Yeah, dude, definitely. What is it? I don't know. I'd love this potential path. I think enemies in your combats having 1 HP, this gives us a real good chance of getting unelite. Not the be-all end-all, but worth something. All viable choices. Really like Disarm, though. Disarm is good, I think. It's great against this boss, and it scales. I mean, there's a lot of useful opportunities to use it on the next floor. I mean, Evolve is pretty good. So is Body Slam, but it's at a common level. Removing, I understand its usefulness. We're not going to get a free elite. 2 Entropic Brews. Removing is useful. I just don't want to spend my gold too early. And I'm actually... We need to add an offensive card if we have the opportunity here. If we can get a 2-cost good offensive card, would have been nice. For now, I am going to take Sword Boomerang, even though it doesn't necessarily play into what we're working on. It's okay, I suppose. Dude, I just realized Entropic Brew actually kind of sucks with only 2 potion slots. We didn't have to do it like that, just for the record, and I don't know. Ugh. It's gonna be a painful fight. We don't have any AoE. Entropic Brew, it works really well when you got a lot of open slots. When you don't, it kind of sucks. So this is probably the worst fight for us right now, but all the elite fights, to be honest with you, are not going to be very strong for the time being. Definitely make sure you're using that speed potion to stay alive if necessary. We don't have a whole lot to work with here. I'm very thankful for Evolve. Evolve is the big positive here. Even when we draw garbage, at least we're working towards... You know, we're likely to get more of that garbage out of our deck as quickly as possible, which is a huge positive. Well, if I'm being honest, we're probably going to go down to 1 HP. We got to give ourselves a chance to kill him next turn. Maybe not 1 HP, but like single digits is obvious. Low single digits, I would say, is even likely. We need to draw a defend every turn now, or every other turn, I should say. And we thankfully got one there. I think we'll just try to take 0. What comes after this? Danger. Danger is the answer to the question you're looking for. He is dead. Disarm doesn't work too well. I mean, it doesn't work well against any of the first floor elites, really. If we could find a way to get rid of their artifacts, it would work a little bit better. Bronze Scales is good. You know, I'm going to take another Sword Boomerang just because I guess they don't have a synergistic effect. Don't even talk to me about the irony there. But if we build our deck in such a way that it's... that one Sword Boomerang gets better, now both Sword Boomerangs will get better, obviously. Can we output 25 damage? Yes. I'd say good Vulnerability Potion. Trying to rebuild our HP as much as possible. Wild Strike with Evolve strikes me as a positive as well. This is terrible luck, dude. If that question mark had just been anything else, we would have had a better shot. I think Juggernaut for a faster... Oh, and obviously kind of a big whiff there. But Juggernaut for faster time to kill is pretty important, I think. I'd really rather use it on you. I know that seems a little whack. I'm hoping the vulnerability is good enough here. Well... Sure, we have a wound. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about not taking 9 damage if possible. Looks like we're gonna live. Now the question becomes, how badly? Honestly, I'm starting to grow to like Metallicize. How badly do you think you can get away with not resting? And for real, dude, the burn it places in our deck is not a negative, or it's not a positive, I should say, but it's not a huge negative thanks to Evolve. And Immolate's just such good crowd control. I just want to see, is there anything else we'd like to add? Yes, if we could buy a card that gives us more defense, that would be beautiful. We can't I think a block potion. I know strength is better for sword boomerang, but for survival, I think a block potion against the boss might be in order. He has some big turns. I'm not gonna take the curse, and then having rested earlier, I'm gonna smith here. This is a big target in the future, but I mean, this is 3 extra damage. This is minimum 7 extra damage. It's still going to be hard to find a time to play it. I think this fight's going to be a little tough, honestly. Let's make sure we're getting off on the right foot here. You know, early on, and you know, this is why we could have taken something like Searing Blow, maybe. Thank God. Early on, the lack of something that gives you growth is a real problem. You know, it clashes in a, or sorry, claws in a defect deck are a good example. Just anything that gives you the ability to get stronger against an enemy who's already, you know, pretty strong in their own right to begin with here. Because we're going to be on 3 HP. And with burns in our deck, that's tough. That's very important. Taking his strength away might give us a better chance, but the outlook is still pretty grim. We really can't even afford to play the Sword Boomerang here. Maybe with the Metallicize we could have. It's my bad. We're dead. Might as well go out on your own terms, dude. Not a good defensive deck. Not great in general, but at least we made it to the boss. I'm not giving up hope. I'm pushing the boulder back up the hill. One of these days it's not going to roll down. Very rare to have a video in which I upgrade Bash 3 times. So what I would... The only thing I can really ask for out of this deck, out of this run, doesn't have to have an archetype. I know, like, the archetype meta, it's old hat. It's not respected. It's a newbie trap. But some kind of unifying vision that's not an archetype but does exactly the same things would be really nice. So I actually think a Perfected Strike early. We don't need to build Perfected Strike. But, you know, we can start to build around Perfected Strike. You know what I mean? I mean, at this point, I'm grasping at straws. And I'll be the first to tell you I'm grasping at straws. But I think this will be perfect if we draw Perfected right now. It's not meant as a pun. I'm very serious. Okay, we'll take 2 damage, draw Perfected. Thank you. So, we'll think about adding strikes, for sure. And I think a Wild Strike, I'll take it with or without a Perfected Strike. So adding another Wild Strike seems like a little bit of a no-brainer. Kunai is lovely, and if we could start to maybe build some zero-cost attacks, I can start to believe. A little, at least. 2012. 10s and 20s, what's so funny? Freaking 2010. That's not how it goes. You know what? I do like Ghostly Armor, but give me a Twin Strike. Not exclusively to power up Perfected Strike, but it don't hurt. Yeah, I didn't want to think about crunching the numbers, but there was no way we were getting a lethal amount of damage dealt to him. Still, probably the most comfortable elite fight we've had so far. Our boss is the Guardian. Disarm does very well against the Guardian. Evolve is also good. Fire Breathing might be the worst card in the game, in my estimation and the estimations of many others. I'll take a Disarm, but if our next elite ends up being the Guardians, we'll be disappointed for sure. I don't want to say good, because this still is very scary. But it is what it is. Alright. Sure. And sure. And sure. And let's think. This will save us 2 per turn. This will save us 7. 2 per attack, I should say. I'd rather save 7, honestly. There's a realistic chance the mathematics in that work out in our favor. Pretty much just gotta go for broke. I don't think we can draw no attacks, so we live. Dude, I'll take another Perfected Strike and then Whetstone. I mean, it had a better chance, but oh well. Ancient Tea Set is fine. Let's not be a fool. This is a good time to rest. 37 HP. If we add some more blocks, it might put us in a better spot. I'm not going to gamble on finding a shop, so let's just upgrade a card. I'll go for Perfected. I know. I know. Perfected Strike is not a well-liked archetype at Ascension 20. At least when I looked at the Slay the Spire subreddit 3 months ago. So maybe the wisdom changes from time to time. It doesn't sound right to me. Yo, that's absurdly lucky. How on earth did we get out of that? Right now, it's working. Now, 0-cost attacks are very good for kunai, so I am going to add it. I know we need more defense. I'm dumb. That obviously would have killed him. I know we need more defense. Don't get me wrong, dude. I'm hoping to have a chance to add it. We can't afford to play Juggernaut. Don't be ridiculous. So what are we going to do? I guess we're just going to try to body him. Like, we have so few blocks in the deck. We need to get on that ASAP. Perhaps for now... I'm really looking for that Perfected, but... Perhaps for now... We can get away with it for this fight, but on the next floor, I think it's going to burn us pretty badly. Honestly, I'd rather not. This time, I'd rather. At least the one time. 12 damage. Thank God for Disarm. And Anger, paying dividends on the kunai. Much appreciated. Everything played a role there. No reason to waste the Wild Strike and put a wound in our deck. Let's just be smart. This is actually going so much better than I could have expected. It's not like we're going to be, like, low on HP. Any lower, I should say. We might as well make him vulnerable so we can have a better chance to kill him. And that's definitely going to work. That went fine. Defensive stuff is of top priority right now. I will say, I know Demon Form is flashy. We would need energy to make it work reliably. I think I'm actually a bigger fan of, like, Exhume into Disarm. I think it helps us more. And I, by the way, could be super wrong. And I am going to take Philosopher's Stone. I understand the danger when enemies attack multiple times. Philosopher's Stone is much more dangerous for us. I'm just hoping that the ability to play 2 Perfected Strikes per turn, when possible, is gonna help us out even more. Really, and this is I got what I asked for. Is what I'm gonna say about this. I asked for a unifying theme and vision. We know what we're doing. We know what we have. Yes. And we know what we need. I have to fight you. I need the gold to go to the shop for sure. Forget what you do. It's a terrible first turn, by the way. Well... What we need is defense. What we have is really strong offense. And with Gremlin Horn, I think that's going to be even better. So start here, draw Perfected. Weird, but... Really need those perfecteds on this turn. Okay, 1 is fine. Wrong again, buddy. Wrong again. It's not like we could have changed it on this turn. Like we... That was our line. It is frustrating, though. You take a deep breath. Thanks for watching. Sometimes it's going to happen. Maybe I guess we should have given them the gold, or maybe focused on killing the unit at the back like we do every single other time. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya! And sorry.